Heidi ho, people, and welcome to the Fortean Slip Daily, episode 43. I think it's 43. 43, yeah, something like that. Tonight, tomorrow, today, the morning, I don't know when I'll fucking be posting this goddamn thing. Fred and I will be discussing the Michigan Dogman. Evening, Fred.
Hey, how's it going, Chris?
Not too bad. Fred had actually done some research on this before, and I recently did the story of the guy who had the photograph of this thing, but it's an older story, and I can't remember exactly what the gist of it was right
was
now.
that the on-away photo one?
That's the one where it's underneath the street light, and the guy takes the photo of it.
Yep.
So I can't remember all the details right now, to be honest with you. But I had done that story, so I did a little bit of looking into it, and I had of course seen the Monster Quest episode where they go into the Gable Film, and look into the, I guess the logistics behind a dogman, or whether or not it is being confused with another animal, or if it's a Bigfoot sighting gone wrong, or whatever the fuck it is. But the Michigan Dogman, I guess, and I'm grabbing this information as usual from Wiki, because it's just fucking easy, people.
It is.
But it was first reported in 1887 in Wexford County, Michigan. And then in 1987, Steve Cook, who was a disc jockey at WTCM FM in Traverse City, Michigan, recorded a song called The Legend, which was an April Fool's Day joke, and it was about the Dogman. And that fucking thing was huge. I guess he made money off the thing. I guess he.
Oh yeah, it was a good song.
Yeah, I guess he donated a lot of the money to an animal shelter, a local animal shelter.
Well, that was nice.
Yeah, I mean, hey, that's wonderful.
Hey.
And then you got, in trying to find the exact date. 2007. You get the Gable Film.
Yes, the infamous Gable Film.
The Gable Film, which shows, and the Gable Film, at its first, if you just look at the Gable Film and you don't know anything about it, the Gable Film looks pretty fucking good.
It does. Very, very well done. The filming, you can see enough of the actual subject in the film, and the way that he moves along.
And not only but the way the guy filmed it, with all the old vehicles and snowmobiles, so that it looked vintage.
It did. It had that feel.
Yeah, it just took you there. So if you know nothing about this fucking thing, it just, boom. And there were two parts to this film, and the first part shows, these people walking around doing shit in this yard where there's all these, like I said, the old vehicles and shit, and then they turn, and this creature, or what looks like a creature, comes fucking barrel-assing towards them. And
chugging along,
and the video cuts out.
Yep.
And then the other film, which came out later, is of what looks like officers investigating.
Yeah, it's like an investigation that they sort of, I guess they're examining the scene, and
there's like a body.
It's interesting.
What looks like a body, supposedly.
Yeah.
So come to find out, this is all just one big fucking hoax,
Well put together, well planned.
And this guy really did. He went fucking
went all out.
He took the fucking Pepsi challenge.
He did. Like the movement, that just the creature alone, or well, the person in the suit. I mean, like I said, just the motion alone makes you go back and look many times over again.
Yeah, and I think that it's just a guy in a ghillie suit or something like that, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that's what they said. Yeah, but again, it's like it's not that he has a lens flare, but it's almost like, again, like the Patterson film, where it's almost got a hazy quality where it's dated.
Yeah, and he filmed it with an old,
Yep.
8mm.
Yep.
So, like I said, at first sight, the Gable film looks really good, but of course, you come to find out it's just this big fucking hoax. And they, of course, they went through it on Monster Quest and did the whole thing where, it comes out.
Yeah, broke it down.
And supposedly, according to the people that did the Gable film, they say that Monster Quest knew the whole time that they had hoaxed the video, but that they tried to play it off like, that they busted the hoax.
Right, yeah.
Of course.
For sure, yeah. Yeah.
But
the good people.
The good people of Monster Quest.
Yeah.
Which I loved the fucking show. And I'm sure you did too, Fred.
Yeah, I do. I enjoy it. I mean,
I can still go back. I can still go back and watch them.
Yep. I still do on occasion.
The Sasquatch or / Bigfoot episodes. Hey, a lot of that information, it's just, rehash shit I've heard before, or it's all bullshit or whatever. But the way they put together those episodes, the issue that I always had with Monster Quest was, okay, we're going to go out, we're going to do an investigation, and we're going to give you our findings, and we're going to spend 2 days in the woods. And
just 2.
and then we're going to show you our findings, which are going to be pretty much nothing because we spent
2 days
in the woods. Because that's that's all our production budget would allow, Fred.
Right. Yeah, that's all we could do. We didn't even have craft services. It was horrible. It was terrible out there in the wet.
We had to stay in tents.
Poor guys.
You can't expect us to do that.
No, 2 days, forget it. Yeah, we're done. If there was something out here, we would have found it by now.
So be that all as it may, the Dogman, there have been sightings of the Dogman, or the quote-unquote Dogman. And there's been quite a few of them. From what I can gather.
Yeah, mostly like that Michigan area, and like I said, the Beast of Bray Road and all those good ones. But yeah, there's a lot of sightings.
So now my thing is, I love a good werewolf story, or a good, I don't even know if I would call it a dog man story. I like a werewolf story. Guy turns into a fucking werewolf.
Too.
I don't know if I was so much into the vampires fighting werewolves movies, but I get into werewolves as a, character, species, whatever you want to call the fucking thing. As the, figure piece of horror. But I don't know that I buy into a dog man.
Well, and that's the thing. When I was doing research, I did a drawing of a dog man, the Beast of Bray Road, and while doing the research, of course, I checked into all the sightings and sort of tried to figure out what this creature looked like, and it's definitely. It's an odd look. I mean, they're always described by the road, the large, upright wolf-type creature.
I just don't know that I can buy that. Like
I know. And for me, I want to know.
I love a good story like that. Like I love a good shapeshifter story.
And that's the thing that I found. It seems like the two sides never cross. I was actually I found more information just Google typing in images werewolves, and I got more visual information than I did by typing in Dogman. And made me wonder, like, is Dogman a werewolf or something like that? Doesn't seem to fall into it. I mean, nobody's following the creature around to see if he transforms back into a creature. And in most sightings, I can't recall any of them, any mentions of a full moon or anything like that, which would be awesome if there was.
No,
It's like, I'm down with that, yeah.
The only thing that people are reporting is that they're seeing...
It looks like a werewolf.
That it looks like, like a werewolf. Not that it is a werewolf.
No.
But that it looks like a werewolf. And like I said, I'm in with a werewolf story. A story.
Yes.
Story. Like a book or a movie or maybe a TV show. I'm taken back to Fox's Werewolf, which probably if I went back and watched, I'd want to like shoot myself for liking it.
Yeah.
But
I was a big fan of Teen Wolf, so I can't speak.
Yeah, exactly. See, yeah. So, I don't know that as a creature, as an actual living creature, that I buy into a dog man. I'm more apt to believe that it's a misidentification of a Bigfoot or a Sasquatch or even, like a bear or something.
And we don't know. Like, I mean, a lot of researchers and not like scientists that know a fair about human biology as well as primates and stuff say there's a lot. There could be a lot of physical variation between the Bigfoot Sasquatch creatures. Just like you and I don't look the same, and we don't look like people down the street. Maybe some of these Bigfoot creatures have not an elongated muzzle, but a more pronounced protrusion around their mouth, so it almost looks like they have a muzzle, and a la having those misidentifications.
Yeah, and that's all completely possible.
Well, and that's it. Like, because there a lot of times, like for me, a werewolf is a big creature, but like these people are describing like a Bigfoot-sized werewolf, like a really big creature, 7 feet, 400 or 500 pounds.
I'd be more apt to believe that it's a Bigfoot over a dog man. Like the whole idea of a dog man just doesn't, it doesn't.
Well, it makes you think of. It's got a basset hound head, and it's sitting there on the side of the road.
I can't do Dogman. I can't. Like, it doesn't. Yeah, like I said, as a story, it works great. Give me a fucking good werewolf story. That captivates me.
The feral beast within, and I'm very much into that as well. And like I said, I found when I was doing that research that it really does act, and it seems like a werewolf without all that great backstory that goes with it. The scorned lover who turns into a werewolf at the waning of the moon and tears through the countryside. There's none of that. It's just I saw something that looked like a wolf on its back legs eating roadkill. Oh, okay.
Yeah. I don't know what that is, and there are people that are really fucking into it too. Like there's
really into it, and they don't even like it when you possibly suggest that it could be a Bigfoot, maybe.
I don't know.
I know what I saw.
I've never gotten that into the inner society of Dogman research.
Well, like I said, when I did the research there, I talked to a few people, and when I was trying to do the image, they were very keen. They wanted it to look very much like the sightings of that Beast of Bray Road, which, I mean, it does sound like a werewolf type sighting.
Yeah, I just. I don't know. Do we have any sightings? Because I haven't done a huge shitload of research. Is there any sightings where like the thing actually attacked somebody?
Not really. Like, I mean, there was that Onaway photo and the backstory with that. Apparently, they'd been out hunting the family in this rural area, and they were butchering the deer in behind a shed. And I don't really recall what happened, but they decided to get in the car, and as they were pulling out, one of the kids had heard something in behind the shed and turned around, and as the backlights on a vehicle flashed red, they saw what looked like a large wolf-like creature, and apparently the kid flashed a shot with the cell phone, and they have this kind of blurry, it looks like a wolf that's darting towards the vehicle, but it has a very large head. But there's also kind of like a line going down through the middle of the creature. Makes you wonder if it was just some sort of statue put out there. Who knows?
Right.
That's the only thing I can think of. Nobody's ever had like an interaction where they've had to run from a dog man.
Right. And it just, to me, it seems like a dog man would be a very predatory creature. You've got this, I guess, animal with these very large flesh-ripping teeth. They're not going to be, picking berries and,
Nope.
just like farming and being like, hey, humans, how are you?
Yeah.
they're gonna be fucking. They're gonna be ripping something apart. So
Maybe.
I don't see any of those sightings. I see sightings of it like eating roadkill.
It seems very benign.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And to me, if there is a creature like this, and there are all these different sightings, why aren't we seeing like the dog man, ripping into somebody or ripping into something? I just don't see any of those sites. I could be wrong. There are people they'll be like, oh no, there's hundreds of those sightings.
Yeah, for sure.
But if there are, I
What's
think
the
I would.
major
I think
ones?
I would be seeing them.
Yeah, and that's the thing, and a lot of them they're not that we're looking for violence in the sighting, but they seem very benign. Like somebody at first thinks it's something else, and then all of a sudden the creature does something that's not wolf-like. It stands on its hind legs. But I mean, there are people that know that wolves do pop up on their back legs. Do they walk? No, but. And none of the sightings, or the ones that I researched, are they talking about the creature walking around. They usually say that it just sort of stands upright. I mean,
My dog
who
does that
knows?
for a fucking treat.
Yeah, there you go. And, like a large canine type animal late at night, if there's some roadkill and it's hungry, it's gonna snack on it. And I'm pretty sure most animals, their first instinct upon meeting something else is to puff itself up and make itself look bigger.
Yeah.
So you know what? Who knows what kind of interaction? I think a lot of this is a testament to the person's observation skills. What are they
absolutely.
seeing at that moment, and what are they taking in? A lot of times people go into the woods thinking, I'm going to run into Bigfoot, and then everything's Bigfoot.
Well, I was just talking to you about this whole thing before the show. That Steve and I talked about the Bob Garrett campsite attack.
Mm-hmm.
Which, as a disclaimer about that, Steve kind of, we get some misinformation on that one. Steve was not sure about whether or not Bob Garrett had ever actually claimed like that the government was trying to shut him down and all that. And yes, he did. I found that information. So I just wanted to interject that really quick in case anybody's curious about that. He did. I have the information. I'm going to post it. Or Steve and I are going to do an update on that. But my whole take on that is these guys go out into the woods and they're looking for Bigfoot. And they find, and they come across a campsite that's disheveled, and what do they see? They see a Bigfoot attack. Now, if it was a chupacabra hunter, he would see a chupacabra attack. You could go right down the line. Like, I literally, during the show yesterday, was just like, every cryptid imaginable was there. They rode away on the Loch Ness Monster.
Hitched a ride.
Just because that is the status quo with all of these researchers. They go out, they're looking for these things. Therefore, that's what they tend to see in their research. There's no solid research going on.
Well, and that's the thing. Like a lot of these individuals, I mean, they might be great people that know how to camp and they might know how to be in the woods, but not necessarily have woodcraft knowledge and might not have the type of skills that somebody that knows the woods might have. Therefore, it's going to validate everything. Their ignorance is going to validate, again, this is such and such. Not saying that they're not credible sightings and there's not, instances out there, but it definitely seems like they're not getting the whole picture. They're going out there and maybe not having enough overall knowledge to get the full picture of what's going on.
Yeah, and
like I wouldn't have a clue out there in the woods. I couldn't tell you what was snail snot.
I go out in the woods. I would not consider myself a woodsman.
But there you go, like knowledgeable of the woods though. Like you're not gonna have
I'm not completely ignorant.
Big issues.
I'm not completely ignorant, but I'm not a forest ranger. I'm not like I'm not Jeremiah fucking Johnson. I'm just a guy that likes to go fucking hiking in the woods. Okay, so but when I go out in the woods and I see a pile of shit, I don't see Bigfoot shit or whatever. If I see a stick structure, and I dare say such a thing. That I don't see a Bigfoot stick structure, or if I see a tree that's fallen down or pulled down or in an X, I don't see any of that, and I'm a Bigfoot enthusiast. Like I like the stories, I like the videos, I like to talk about this shit. Obviously, I do a whole show on all of this shit.
Oh yeah.
But when I go out in the woods, I don't do that. So I wonder, like, because I've seen this in more than just these cases, where people go out into the woods to search for stuff, or they go, to look for this type of cryptid, or they're going to look for UFOs or aliens, or whatever, and I don't think the Dogman is any different.
No, I think something can be said for that for sure. Yeah.
It's people are looking for it, so therefore they see it. And I think with the Dogman, it's just indicative of a certain area. However,
any large bipedal thing would be a Dogman in that area.
Right. So, however, like I recently, and I think it was last year, had a friend of mine tell me that their daughter's friend, her mom had seen something that she swears was very Dogman-ish or werewolf-like. And that was here in Maine.
See, and that's the thing, like, because I have talked to people that, like, have had unusual sightings of different types of creatures, and the conviction in their voice, like, you have to make that choice, even though the story that I'm hearing might seem a little outlandish to me right now, the person that's telling it seems genuine. They seem like they're describing what it is that they actually felt and saw. And who knows what goes on in somebody's mind if you're already thinking, ooh, I hope I don't run into the Dogman, and then you see what looks like a large canine type creature snarling and snapping at some dead rabbit on the side of the road. By the time you get to see your buddies later that night, it's a lot larger, it's a lot more ferocious, the experience was more fierce. I'm not saying that that's the case every time, but
it's the case a lot of times.
I would definitely say that's a fair, for sure. Fuck it, yeah. It's got to be.
Because if there's anything that we know about personal, sighting reports, witness testimony. It's fucking wishy-washy.
It is.
It's fucking completely wishy-washy. And, me seeing something would be just the same. Like, I see creatures all the time at night. I'll guarantee you, if I tried to relate to you what I saw right now, last night, I wouldn't get it right.
No.
I can guarantee it, and I remember what I saw. Like, last night, for instance, I saw a raccoon. Little fucking fat old raccoon, waddling in the road, fucking kind of flipped over, ran off. But if I were to just describe that raccoon to you, I wouldn't be able to get it right.
No, like
besides me being able to tell you
raccoon.
that it's a raccoon because I know what a raccoon is. That's it. Like, I can't, and I'm sure my relaying of the facts of what it did is even at this point wrong.
More than likely,
And I just saw it last night, Fred. Last night.
And then if you add weeks on top of that, and you have like group discussions about how your buddy saw raccoons, and then all of a sudden your story starts taking on characteristics of that story, and
without you even realizing it sometimes.
You swear to God you saw the red of its eyes as it stared down at you, and
That's right. It was rabid, Fred.
It was. I saw its little hands come out at me in the dark.
Yeah, so I mean, I think that a lot of this is, I personally think a lot of it's misidentification, because I personally don't buy into a dog man. I am all in with a good werewolf story. Give me a good fucking, fiction. I'm all in.
Well, see, and that's the thing with this Dogman. Unlike the Bigfoot phenomenon, like they've got quite at least two that we know of that could potentially be real, actual video. There's lots of images that, sure, we know are fake or not real, but there's a handful that are, especially those two that show motion. The only one we had of the Dogman was that Gable film, and the fact that it was proven to be a hoax, a guy in a ghillie suit, that really takes the wind out of the sails.
Oh yeah.
And it's weird though. I think back and you're like, well, I mean, the main criteria for a Dogman is an upright, walking on two legs creature, but in the Gable film, it's a creature that's humping along on all fours in a weird human-like way, of course. But I never want, like, why didn't it stand up and start walking?
Because it was in a ghillie suit, and then you'd instantly have known it was a dude in a ghillie suit.
Right.
That's why.
Although I gotta admit, man, that guy must have had some great core strength, because to be able to do that, to run around like your stomach and back would just be aching.
Oh
but
yeah.
To do that on all fours.
Yeah, and I'm sure that terrain wasn't exactly all that easy to go across either.
Well, especially the part where, like in one scene I saw in the Gable film, the guy actually hops down and lands on his front, like I was going to say front limbs. He landed on his hands with his back in the air and sort of, makes up for it. And, under the right light, right conditions, you're looking at it going, that's not possible. No human could do that. Well, no, you couldn't do that, but there's some humans that might be able to pull that off.
Right.
Easy.
And it just, to me, it just seems like, what do we really have as far as that's concerned? It's conjecture, it's stories.
Yeah.
There's nothing concrete, and
a lot of hearsay.
I'm down with it being something else, and that I'm not saying that people aren't seeing anything in Michigan, or that there is no.
And that's the thing. They're definitely seeing something.
Right, but is it a Dogman? I don't know that I believe it or buy into the fact that it's a Dogman. I buy into it's misidentification of something else. That people are seeing something, but it's something else.
Well, until somebody gets actual, until they bring a body, I guess. But until we get some sort of like footage of like a muzzled type face, that clearly shows that this isn't, a misidentified Bigfoot, that we actually do have, as weird as it might sound, dog-headed monster men walking around or running around, the woods of Michigan and other locales.
I just think that it should, just head to downtown Detroit.
There you go. Nice.
that would fucking fix everything. Just send the Dogman into Detroit. Like, get rid of all the riffraff. Like, clean the fucking town, clean the city up.
Just have them roll in with an Eminem 8 Mile song. Yeah.
If anybody wants to be completely depressed, just watch any documentary about Detroit.
Yes.
Fuck the Michigan Dogman. Look at Detroit.
Yeah, I've actually, I agree.
This has been episode, I believe it's 43, of the Fortean Slip Daily Weekly Dose something. If you like this shit, hit the like button. If you don't, hit the little thumbs down button. Subscribe, leave a comment, and hopefully we will put another one in the can this week. Thank you for listening.